Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Good day, everybody. Today in supply chain convo, I have chosen the topic Kraljic metrics. Kraljic metrics is a very useful tool for identifying critical commodity and how we can manage our suppliers. It is helping us to identify critical suppliers in aspects of critical commodity. So let's see how it works. Kraljic metrics and supplier-based relationship. Kraljic metrics names are named after Peter Kraljic, who first formulated this model in an article named Purchasing Must Become Supply Management. This was published in Harvard Business Review in 1983. So it is all about talking about the identification of critical commodity and who are the suppliers are managing which part of the things. So we will get to find in a detail from this chart. It is a it is a 2 by 2 matrix where 4 quadrants we can see. In the x-axis, we do have importance of the item. In the y-axis, we have the complexity of the supply market. So there will be a combination in between these four, and we will get to find how we can see or find out the critical commodities. So in the very left axis, in the very left, if we see the importance of the items, it is high importance of the items or low importance of the items. At the same time, the complexity of the supply market in consideration, we can see low complexity of supply market or high complexity of the supply market. So what are the combinations? In the very beginning, we start with the first one, which is non-critical items. What is the non-critical items? When the importance of the item is very low, but the complexity of the complexity of the supplier market is also very low. That means both are very low. The complexity of the supplier market and the importance of the item both are very low. These are the items are known as low importance items or non-critical items. And for here we do the purchase management. That means we are only focusing on the purchase management in this part. Both are non-critical. This is a non-critical category because of both are very low. So what are the categories we have here? In generally, the stationary items, the IT equipments, or IT spares, or like mouse and keyboards, this kind of things, or stationary like paper, pen, this kind of things, we do have, we can falls in this category. Suppose we have a lot of suppliers for this category. So when we do have a lot of suppliers and when we have abundant supply, we don't need to have a concern for this kind of supplies. And this falls into this category of non-critical item where we do the purchase management. That means we focus on a regular purchasing of the thing. The second category is the criticality of the or importance of the item is very high, whereas the complexity of the supply market is low. The importance of the item is very high and the complexity of the market supply market is very low. In this category, we do have our leverage item, which is high important item and low complexity of supply market. That means we need to do the material management. That means here the item is very important, but the complexity of the supply market is not very critical. Suppose in our country, in Bangladesh, we have paddy as a raw material for producing rice. Rice is a staple food of Bangladesh. So the rice as a commodity, sorry, paddy as a commodity is available in our country. So in that case, the availability or complexity of the supply market is low. But what really happens, the importance of the item is very high for the rice miller or the rice manufacturing plants who need this as a raw material in a regular basis. So what is the main concern here? We need to buy this material and have a regular flow of the material without any interruption, where cost and price of the material is very important. We should be focusing on the cost and price aspects. So material management is the main aspects of this area. That means the previous one, non-critical item, we had purchase management, and in this category we have the importance or focus on material management. The commodity to be maintained in a regular flow and the price should be in a regular check. Then we go for the third category. Third category is the bottleneck items. Before we say about bottleneck items, let's see how it is. The importance of the item is very low, whereas the complexity of the supply market is very high. That means the products are not always very available. That may not be available in the country or as well. It may be required for internationally purchased or imported, and item is may not be very important. Like if this item is missed, the production will be stopped or something like that. So in this kind of item, in this category or this focused area is known as bottleneck item, or the items or commodity items can be named as bottleneck items. So what these bottleneck items are focused on: low importance of items and high complexity of supply market. So here we need to do the sourcing management. Previously we looked in non-critical, we had purchase management. For leverage we had material management, and for this bottleneck item we are doing the sourcing management. For example, we do have in our production plant or in our warehouse, suppose in our warehouse we have 10 reach truck or forklift, or we reach truck, anyway we say it. So we have 10 reach truck for material handling. One reach truck is somehow been malfunctioning, and we need to buy the spares, but this spares is only be available from that specific brand. And for ordering that brand item, it takes a longer time because it has been an imported item. For this kind of item, the production may not be entirely interrupted immediately, but there will be a bottleneck because of the shortfall of the facility. So these are the items should be well taken care of by sourcing management. That means we should try to have available sources, supporting sources, duplicate sources, or available spare parts in our facilities, so that this kind of criticalities doesn't show off immediately. So we'll try to manage this in an amicable scenario. The fourth one, and the most important one, is where the complexity of the supply market is very high, as well as the importance of the item is very high. That is, both are very high. So this item is known as critical item. So, sorry, critical item, as well as it is also known as strategic item. So the strategic item, it says high importance of the item, high complexity of the supply market, and supply management is one of the core consideration. Let's review again. Non-critical item, we were doing purchasing management. In leverage item, we were doing material management. In bottleneck item, we need to do the sourcing management. And for strategic item, we need to do the supply management. Here, let's see an example. For example, we use a raw material for one of our production or one of the core production. And this raw material is extensively import based. For example, it could be wheat. We are a flour mill or flour manufacturing plant, and for the manufacturing of flour we need to procure wheat from Russia, Ukraine, countries like this. And there is a war in Russia and Ukraine, in such scenario it has been the total supply has been interrupted, and this can happen. So in this kind of scenario, these items are known as strategic item, where we need to have focus in such a manner so that it is not been interrupted. What we need to do, we need to see how we can manage this supply in a very robust manner, so that a resilient supply process is available there, as supply uninterrupted supply is there, so that it is not been interrupted in any of the scenario. We have to plan some backup. We have to source and what I will say, get a good inventory of this product so that we can handle this kind of criticalities. So we have seen these four categories in Kraljic matrix: non-critical item, where both importance of the item and risk of supply is low. And here we need to do the purchase management. Leverage item, where the importance of the item is very high, but the risk of supply is very low. So here we do the material management. The third one is the bottleneck item, where the importance of the item is very low, but the risk of supply is very high. It is here we do the sourcing management. And the last one is the strategic item where importance of the item is very high and the complexity of the supply market or the risk of supply is very high as well. So here we do the supply management. So that was all for Kraljic metrics at a glance. Thank you very much. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.